Do you remember your last conversation with people that left you demotivated, stressed, and also where you felt that you were demeaned by that person? Well, friends, yes, I'm talking about those conversations with those people whom we call them difficult people to deal with. And these people, they are the one who disrespect you, demotivate you. They also do not bother about your opinion. They are only thinking about themselves, how superior they are, how right they are, and how good they are. They are not even interested about who you are, what you do. In simple words, we define them as difficult people. Many a times in our conversation, when we end and when we move out, we always have a feeling, how could this person say this to me? I should have responded to that person in this way. I could have said this. And that feeling, when it grows, it builds more stress in your body. It releases a lot of hormones which are very harmful to you, and it doesn't allow you to sleep in the night. Well, that's the reality, and that's the seriousness of this problem. That is how to deal with difficult people. Friends, my name is Arun Thukral. I'm a life and a leadership coach, and in this video today I'm going to take you through a very important session, that is how to deal with difficult people, what you can do about it, and how you can make the difference rather than changing the other person. A lot of time people have the feeling that they would do something to change that person, and let me tell you, whatever you may do, nothing will change. It's only you who has to bring that change in yourself, in living a happy and a satisfied life. But when you think that why I have to change, the simple answer that I want to give you is because it is you who is getting impacted. It is you who is taking that mental stress. It is you who has an impact of that mental stress into your life, into your work, into your career. So it's you only who has to bring that change. Now I will take you through the details of this session. I'm going to tell you 7 super principles that will help you to how to handle these kind of difficult people, and also I am going to tell you bonus tips in terms of how to manage your body language when you are conversing with these people, and that is very important, so don't miss that. And finally, don't forget to like and subscribe my channel, because a lot of content is coming your way and I want you to like it and share it if you believe in that. So now I'm going to talk to you about these 7 principles in dealing with difficult people. This is what I have brought from my personal experience, from my article research, and a lot of data that I have gone through and through my own corporate experience. This is what I'm going to tell you. I'm sure it's going to benefit a lot. So the number 1 point is avoid trying to change these people. As I've already mentioned, that these difficult people have deep-rooted behaviors. When I say deep-rooted behavior, it simply means that they have been doing this for a period of time. So that means they feel satisfied and happy the more they do it, because somebody somewhere would not have stopped them, and that's why they feel empowered. They get energized when they do this, when they talk to people in a bad tone, or they demean people, disrespect people just because they want to showcase their superiority. So don't even try to change them, because the more you will try to make that effort, the more you will get involved in the way they want you to behave, and that's where the problem is. The next important thing what you can do is you can simply highlight on the behaviors that they have exhibited. You can point out certain behaviors. Say for example that saying something like this hurts me, or saying something like this is going to make me feel bad. So don't do that. So highlight only the behavior, not the person per se. I'm going to tell you in more detail. So the number 1 principle is don't try to change them. Only just see that how those behaviors can be explained to them. The second point is set your boundaries. Now this is one of the very crucial fact when you are dealing with difficult people, when you are having those difficult times in dealing with them. And when I say set your boundaries, it clearly reflects that what you need to do is you need to tell them that they should respect you and you also respect them, which means the respect that they want from you, you also need to get the same respect from them. There is no compromise in this. It has to be an equal respect all the time, and you have to train them. You have to make them understand that this is how it is going to work. Number 2 point is, when you set boundaries, is don't tolerate shouting or public shame. or any kind of disrespect, because these people, they feel energized and they feel great, particularly when they shout a lot, that too in a public area, because that's what makes them feel superior. So tell them that you are not going to tolerate it. If they do something like this, you will not stand in that point. You will just leave that place, or you will not even respond to what they say. So you have to set those boundaries, and as I said, you have to condition them, you have to teach them, because they know that every time they do a shout on you, you are going to stop them. You are going to tell them that this is not acceptable. Because what is important is, if you do not do this, as it is said, that you will see that they will feel rewarded every time they do it, and the more it is rewarded, the more they are going to repeat it. So you need to tell them very clearly. You have to teach them, condition them in any such situation. Second, and the last point is, never settle for less what you deserve. So you deserve equal respect, you deserve equal amount of attention, and this is what you have to keep telling them. So these are the kind of boundaries that you have to set for yourself, and you have to constantly communicate to these people that you will not take whatever they want to give you. Next principle, that is the third one, is called positive intentions. Now this is something that you have to go a little deeper in understanding from where these people are coming. When I say from where, means what kind of behaviors, work culture, family culture that they have, and how they have grown up. And that is where they are coming out. There is something that they really want to help you with. There's something that they have been repeatedly telling you. So there is something that they have observed. So you need to work on this principle to understand what is their intent behind that behavior. Why exactly they always come and do this. There is something that you need to think about it and understand their background. When I say understand their background, I also want to highlight on the fact, empathize to de-escalate the tension. When you empathize with people, when you understand that what are the challenges they are going through right now, will help you to understand their perspective. And very important reason for these people, when they shout at you, yell at you, it's because they are attention seeker. They also have a habit of saying certain things repeatedly just because they feel that you need to give them that attention. A lot of time I've seen that if you dig deeper, when you empathize with them, you will see that in the background, either they are very tired, or they are undergoing some personal challenge in their life, or they have been traumatized before and they could not handle it. Now when they are meeting a person like you who is little weaker in their eyes, they want to vent out everything on that person. So when you empathize, when you go back and look at their culture, you will understand that why they are behaving in a particular way. So see their intentions and don't get personally hurt, because when you talk to them after half an hour or 1 hour, they would be absolutely normal. The fourth important point, or the principle in dealing with difficult people, is don't talk too much. Now when I say these are difficult people, these are difficult conversations, they are yelling at you. Now if you again shout and you also speak too much, it will lead to confrontation. So one of the best practices, don't speak or don't talk too much. And what is important is, keep your verbal message little brief and concise. Say very few words, so allow them to speak as much as they want. And this is where you need to keep your calm. The second thing is, you also need to keep a time frame in your mind, that till when you are going to sustain and listen to them. You need to very clearly say, okay, in next 5 minutes, if he doesn't stop, I will leave. This calculation is very clearly in your mind, and you tell them that if you continue to speak like this, we are not going to talk. Or maybe you give them an option that, okay, we can talk after 10 minutes when you cool down. So you need to have that kind of a time frame in your mind for that discussion. Also keep your limits to be a part of such discussion. So you know that you cannot cross that limit. You should not be firing the same kind of words the way they are saying, in the same speed and intensity, because when you speak with that intensity, it further adds to their needs, their wants. This is what they want. They want you to involve in their game, and that's where that person enjoys and you get dirty. So it's important to be concise in your messages that you are saying, and have that time in your mind that when you are going to put yourself off. The fifth principle is, focus on behavior, not on people. As I mentioned earlier also, you need to be very clearly focused on people, what exactly they are talking, focus more on their behavior than on people. So when I say focus on behavior, it simply means never target the person but the behavior. So just to give you an example, if somebody tells you that you are lazy or you are a nice person, so this is more about the person individual. It is not a behavior. Now this is what we say people oriented or a person oriented comment. But if I say something like this, that it's been 10 days, you are not submitting your reports on time. Or if I say that for the last 1 week, you are coming late to the office. When I highlight late to the office or I'm highlighting not submitting reports, it is reflecting a behavior. So when you are dealing with such people and you know they are difficult, don't hit on the person, but talk about the particular behavior that separates from person to the action. And that's where people understand that where the problem is. The next point is focus on crucial things. Now what it means, it simply means that don't engage in the way they want. That means don't get into a confrontation, because confrontation will not lead to anything, but they will try to dominate you, they will demean you, they will disrespect you, and you will eventually get demotivated. So, but at the same time, don't take their bait. Don't take whatever they say, because what gets rewarded gets repeated. Because the more you will listen and you don't respond back also is a serious problem. So as I mentioned in step number 4, you need to be concise. You need to be with lesser amount of words that you need to use. So the more you, and finally you should also be aware about the time limits that you are going to be in that discussion. And very importantly, use the same words or phrases which they use, and tell them that you are not going to take whatever they want. You have to have a very serious tone, stern tone, and assertive tone when you are responding them back. I will explain you when we talk about the body language part to understand. Now we move into the 7th point, or the 7th principle in dealing with difficult people. When I say 7th principle, it simply means use suggestions. Now let's imagine that you are in a conflict with your boss and you know that things are not moving ahead. Now at this point of time, you need to use this principle of using suggestions. So I'll give you one example. Say something like this: boss, if we do XYZ, how do you think it might work? Now here you are giving a suggestion that how it might work, and you are asking the opinion of your immediate manager. Now when you are doing like this, what it reflects in this process? It reflects that you are interested in his opinion. Number 1. Number 2, you are also listening and paying attention to what that person is saying. And number 3 is, once you are able to do all this, you are relieving tension between you and your boss. A lot of time people do not understand that, and they sit in their own ego and things doesn't work, and their difficulties will continue to rise. But here, if you go by the suggestive way of doing things, it will help in de-escalating the tension. Now let's say that if you have done so, what will happen is you need to paraphrase. If you have learned earlier in my communication series, we talked about paraphrasing. Now here paraphrasing is something like this: if your boss has responded with some suggestions, you can add, if I understand you correctly, you think whatever the point is, you say that. Now once you do that, you also add quickly, I consider that, and here is how I see it, which means you are telling that you absorb the opinion of your boss and this is how you see it. So what you are doing is you are involving him, engaging him, listening him, taking his opinion and adding your own opinion into it. Now what all these things are leading to? You are finally saying, does this make sense? You are still seeking his approval. Does this make sense? If you're able to do this way, what it happens is it reflects that you have alternative solutions to the problem. You are here to resolve the conflict between you and your line manager. Now, this requires practice. Of course, it requires practice, but you need to try it out, giving a suggestion, paraphrasing, and then asking again the permission from your boss how it works. Because ultimately your goal is to have a peace between you and your manager or your boss, because you want to work in that organization, you want to work more productively. So try this option when dealing with a difficult boss like this. Now from here we move to the most important part. Let's say you have done everything right as per the principles, but you don't know how to use your body language when dealing this, because as we say that our non-verbal and verbal tone and body language plays a very, very important role because your non-verbal speak louder than your verbal voice. So we'll understand that how it is going to work in terms of your body language, and if you can play it around with skill, it will really start paying you a lot of dividend. So let's talk the first body language. That is, find your tone of power. A lot of time when you are in a conflict, either you shout a lot or you just keep quiet. Though both these situations are not good, because if you keep quiet, you are becoming submissive. You are submitting yourself to the other person. That means he or she can say anything, anytime to you, whatever they want, and that's where you are under a lot of stress. And if you give it back in the same speed and in the same tone, you are leading to conflict. You are leading to a lot of confrontation. Again, that will not lead to any solution. So what is the way? The way is speak in a slow and steady tone. Now what you are doing is, when you speak slow and steady tone, you are breaking the pattern of the opposite person. Because a person who is on the opposite side, who is a difficult person, he is speaking louder and you are breaking their pattern. Because if I also speak louder, I am matching the pattern, and that's where they want you in their game. Now what you are doing is, you are disturbing their game by reducing the tone of your speed of your speech and followed by the tone. Secondly, when you speak slow, it reflects confidence, but when you speak fast, it reflects uncertainty and nervousness. So when you speak slow, it reflects confidence. So think about it when you are dealing with such people. So another important point in your speech is, keep your tone low. If you are louder, again it will match their game. You have to disturb their game, and that is by low tone. When you speak low tone, they are not able to match it, so they will have to come down to your tone. Second is very important body language is, keep your head straight. Like I'm talking to you right now, I'm keeping my head straight because I'm focusing right now on you as you are listening me. But some people have a habit of tilting their head, something like this, something like this, something like this. Now what happens is, when you are doing like this, you are reflecting that you are in a playful mood. You want to have a play, you want to have some fun, and that's what will make them understand that you are not a serious guy, you are a casual guy, so they can take you for a ride anytime, whenever they want. So when you are dealing with these kind of difficult people, when they are shouting at you, when they are making you feel small, at that point of time, you really need to work on your body language. And one of the thing is, keep your head straight. When I say keep your head straight, don't tilt right or left. Secondly, when you are responding back, lead slightly forward, something like this. You need to come like this, and then shift your head forward. Then you bring your head little forward. Now what you're doing is, when you're doing something like this, you are not speaking high, you're not speaking fast, but your body language is telling that you are not going to accept whatever they say. You have a high self-confidence and you can see them eye to eye. This is what is very important. Just by mere shift of your body posture, you are saying that I can deal with you. Next point is, which is very important, keep your eye contact. In normal circumstances, when we talk casually to people, our eye contact is average between 4 to 5 seconds. But when you are talking to difficult people, when you are in a conflict, when you are dealing with your boss or difficult situations, you need to have an eye contact, that too for more than 7 seconds. Now what is important in this more than 7 seconds is, it has to be intense. It cannot reflect like that you are just in a serene place. It is an intense place because it's an intense discussion which is going on. So you need to maintain your eye contact by leaning forward and looking straight into the eye of the person, something like this. Then comes, very important is, when you are able to do something like this, you are reflecting your strength and you are also telling you are hard to knock down. The person on the other side will dare to take you for advantage or dare to take you for a ride if you reflect something like this. And the last point is that you get rid of physical things. Sometimes you are speaking, there is a box kept here, or there is a laptop coming in between, or there is some phone distraction which is coming in between. Avoid as much as possible, because they are the barriers in having a good conversation, face-to-face conversation with those people. So I hope by now you would have understood about the 7 very important principles as well as the 4 important non-verbal body language gestures that will help you to put your supremacy in front of these difficult people so that they should treat you equal, they should treat you with respect, they should give you the same kind of attention that you deserve, not the way they want. So I hope by now you would have understood the importance of communication, and that too particularly dealing with these difficult people. Now, why we say them difficult people, as we have already discussed, that they disrespect you, they demotivate you, they put you in stress. So eventually it is your responsibility to take action, and it is not their responsibility to change. Now, when you know it is your responsibility to take action, it is what you can do when you practice these principles. But let me tell you, these are skills and it takes time to build skills. So from this session, you can pick 1 or 2 important suggestions that I have given. Try it out in your day-to-day practice when dealing with such situations or such people, and I'm sure it is going to help you a lot. Wherever people have been able to understand that how to deal with such kind of people, they have been able to do well in their job. They have been able to get promotions in their jobs because they knew that how to handle those situations, and that's why they are successful in their projects. They are successful in their work. They have got higher appraisal ratings. So think about it, the benefits that you are going to learn if you master the art of this communication skill. Well, I'm sure you would have learned, and I would wait for your feedback. I would wait for your comments in the below comment section, and thanks for watching me.